driving here, I was telling myself, "Well, you're fine. You're doing just fine." But I have begun to lose energy. I feel a little sapped today, so that is the only problem. Feel a little sapped. May not be as boisterous. Some would say that's good. Good. Slow your roll there, Cameron. Stop talking so damn loud.
So forgive me, I was just rewiring the sound to make sure it was all set. What specific is the symptom?
I'm drained. I have no energy. I feel downtrodden. I feel sapped.
Could it have been the heater from last night coming on?
I didn't turn the heat on.
You didn't?
Not in the Cameron household, buddy. We buck up.
Poor Maggie.
We have blankets. Live spectator, buck up, soldier. Yeah, no. I'll be here. I'll be here for the full 2 hours, everybody. Unless I'm not. But I think I'll make it. I'll be fine. It always cracks me up that right when we start the show, Troy, thank you so much. You make me smile every day when you say good morning, as it is morning where he is, and he's in the high country.
Hope you're feeling well in the high country, Troy.
Yeah, hope you are as well. So hey, listen, I don't know. I think I figured it out. I lost money on betting against the Noles last night. So maybe that's what I got to do. Just lose my money for the rest of the year, everybody. I took the points earlier in the day and thought for sure. I mean, I gave the points earlier in the day. I took Purdue. And when I did it, I was like, okay, well, this will be easy money. I hate doing it, but if the Noles are going to lose all year, I might as well make some money off of it. And the basketball gods told me to go right to hell.
Basketball.
That's right.
Gods.
And the Noles told me to go to hell, which listen, no moral victories here. We lost convincingly. And we're surely going to have a losing season, and that will be our first losing season since 0405. You remember 0405, Tommy?
I was not yet a student.
Von Wafer was here.
Yeah.
And I remember that. We went 12-19. We went 4-12 in the ACC at that time. Those are tough times.
That was my senior year of high school, 0405.
Every now and then, I say it all the time, every now and then there is a stark reminder of our vast age difference.
That's the day of my graduation in 2005. There was a Mets-Yankees game at Shea Stadium, and a pitcher by the name of Dae-Sung Koo stole home on Randy Johnson.
That's right. I remember that. That's funny.
He was wearing a jacket.
Yeah. It was goofy. It was very goofy. It was really goofy.
It might have even been like, a bounced pitch, and then he decided just to take off. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, 79-69, even with the reduced number that I had, because I jumped on it at 13, moved all the way up to 15.5. I still didn't cover last night with Purdue, so they can go to hell. I mean, you're going to be out here beating Duke and everybody else under the sun, Gonzaga by 30, but you can't beat Florida State by 10.
There you go. All right. 13. So we had 19-point lead on the Gators, kept it closer with the number 5 team in the country. All right. Give me Bob and Miller back, and they might be able to score one of those games a year. One of those games we go, well, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Down go the heels.
Yeah, your best player would help.
Yeah.
It would help. Congratulations to Patrick Payton. Is the ACC Defensive Rookie. We didn't talk about this yesterday at all, but ACC Defensive Rookie of the Year. And I think he's going to be a good one. Yesterday when we were talking, we got a lot of feedback yesterday when we were going through. I was talking about this defense, and some people pushed back like, no, we've got some. Those people are wrong. We don't have that many good players on defense. Those people are wrong.
But congratulations to Patrick Payton.
He's one of the good ones. He's one of the ones I'm excited about. Very excited. And there are a few others that I think will make real progress, going to play good football for us. I want to win championships.
Why do I feel like you devised a play that would bump and set so you could spike on the people for being wrong? And the bump was Patrick Payton. The set was, we had some comments yesterday.
Yeah.
And here comes the spike.
They're wrong. But hey, you know what? That's not what I was intending to do.
Surely it was.
It feels that way. I could have just said they were all wrong before I even mentioned Patrick Payton. But I wanted to exclude Patrick because I'm really excited about where he's headed. The career path for him is a good one.
John Papuchis, among like 9 others, were available to the media today. And
useless, good for nothing practice.
Oh, I was going to say, Papuchis is not useless.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Even if I thought he was, I wouldn't have gone about it that way.
No.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's had a hell of a run if you think about it. And he was talking about how it's so much easier to recruit to high school and the portal and say, you don't have to say what could be. You could say what is. Because what is now at Florida State is you got Jermaine Johnson, Rich, you got Keir Thomas, who's made some money and had a really good year moving from one program to the other. You had Jared Verse, about to be rich, and then a freshman in Patrick Payton, who is the ACC Rookie of the Year. So what a nice time to be the defensive ends coach at Florida State.
Yeah, and it's every defensive end coach, I think, would tell you that no matter their prowess at coaching the position, you got to have some dudes. Got to have some guys that can really bend, that ankle flexion, all of that. You got to have speed, strength, good combination in terms of body size and all that good stuff. Yeah, helps when you bring in a Jared Verse, right? He's different.
But they got to like you in order to come here in the first place, and that's important.
Relationships matter. We talked a lot. Yes, it's interesting, Tom. I thought about this last night. So we were talking about the NIL, and we were talking about transfer portal era, and you saw the names flooded the market. You know, you just
it's still happening.
Yeah, every 5 minutes somebody else is entering the portal, and I began to think a little bit about what's incumbent on a coach. Like, what does he have to do to avoid situations where your names, the guys that you care about on your roster, are staying out of the portal? How do you best avoid that scenario? Because some of it's unavoidable. Some of it is a kid's away from home for the first time and he doesn't adjust well and he's homesick and he decides he wants to go to a school closer to his home. There's nothing really you can do about that. That happens. But I always think back to conversations and how disappointment occurs. And that's when expectations aren't met. And that's where you start. You start with, what are the expectations? And I really believe you have to sit down and say to a kid, especially like a 5-star kid who's maybe not playing right away, you've got to tell him why he's not playing and what your plan is for him. And I was thinking that we've got a coach who I'm guessing does that. I mean, I think that given his approach to portal guys and the way that he's brutally honest with them, it's hard for me to believe that. Let's use Sam McCall, for example. Okay. Now, I'm not in there. I don't know what kind of conversations they had and didn't have. I know that obviously he expressed frustration, Sam McCall did, and disappointment. So obviously something didn't go the way he thought it should. And that's fine. It could be totally his fault. I don't really care. But for the purposes of this, if you're an elite player, if you're an all-world player, 4 or 5-star kid, you were likely your high school's best player, and you could get away with a lot of things, meaning you could be undisciplined in terms of technique because you were the best athlete on the field.
Late to practice.
Oh, well, yeah.
And that didn't happen here. I'm just saying that if you're his high school coach, you're going to make some allowances.
Correct.
All of them.
If you're an elite player of that caliber and you're being recruited by Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Florida State, all these schools, okay, you are likely not only your team's best player, but you're one of the best players in the city. You're an elite player. And you're likely a kid that's bigger, stronger, faster, typically, or at the very least faster than everybody else you're facing. So what happens for some of these kids, and it happens in all sports, it happens in individual sports too. If you're the best at something or pretty close to it, you're one of the 3 or 4 best at something in your county or in your city, you're not used to anybody taking advantage of your, let's say, lack of technique, lack of discipline, whatever it might be, because you've just gotten away with it athletically your whole life. But then you get here, and that guy across from you was that too. That guy who you now have to compete against on a daily basis might be a junior here. And not only was he his team's best athlete, but he's now been here for 2 and 3 years, and he's been in the weight program, and he knows how practice goes. And they've certainly sharpened his techniques in his efforts to get better along the way. And so now you've got an equal athlete across from you that's going to take advantage of every one of your mistakes as you have to learn the position. And most guys really struggle to deal with that. Their egos are shattered when they've never been told no. They've never been beaten consistently. They've never had to take a second, a back seat to anybody in the rotation. Now you're not the second, you're not the third, you're not even the fifth. You can't even get on the field. You're getting beat every day in practice. That crushes some kids, right? They have to compete again for the first time in years, really compete, just to see maybe a glimpse of the field on game day a couple of times in a season your first year. You got to do all of that. And that's where when you're a coach now in this era, when you encounter that, when you encounter a player who doesn't know how to handle not being the best, doesn't know how to handle being told that his technique stinks, doesn't know how to handle having 6 people in front of him on the depth chart, you got to sit that guy down and tell him, what is your plan? Meaning you as a coach, and then he as a player, his expectation is that he's going to start at some point, right? He didn't come here to sit. So he's going to say, I want to start. I want to play. Everybody wants to play. Playing is important. How do we get you on the field? I want you to play. I didn't recruit you to sit over here and suck. This isn't good for me either. Sam, how do we get you on the field? Here's the plan. Right now you're behind so-and-so, 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 and so-and-so. By season's end, let's see if we can't have you cracking that starting lineup some, getting in there a little bit. By year 2, I expect you to be here. By year 3, that's going to be your showcase year where you got a chance to take it to the league. But here's how we're going to get there. And you got to do that with every player. And as you bring in these elite recruits, and now they've got an opportunity to really bring some in, you got to sit them down and say, here's my plan for you. This is what I see for you. And with the kids that come in initially that you recruit that are 5-star kids, or let's say Hakeem Williams gets here and he's not dominating.
Wouldn't be stunning.
Hey, he's a freshman, right? So let's say he gets here and he's not dominating, and he's meeting practice with frustration. It's affecting his attitude and his day-to-day operation. You got to sit him down. You got to see that early and say, all right, this isn't going the way that he thought it would, and maybe not even the way I thought it would. Let's say, what do we have to do? Is it footwork? Is it the playbook? Is it his hands? Is it the competition? Is he not strong enough? You got to figure it out and lay it out there.
But this is where Sam has even less of an excuse,
because
of course, when you have a culture that's together, then you have this great buffer between the coach and the prospect,
right,
which is a segment group that understands how it's done.
Correct.
I'm not even talking about the position coach or the coordinator. I'm talking about the teammates who can say, look, man, I've been here before.
Yeah, I know what it is.
I know what it is to get out of this. Yeah. Here's what you need to do. So I envision, for example, in the receiver room next year, when you've got Johnny Wilson, Micah Pittman, Winston Wright, who spoke to the media today,
right,
and others in front of a Hakeem, they could say, hey, man, it's all right. We're pretty good too, and we're all in our 20s. You're going to be something.
Right.
So here's how we can get you from A to B. And you've seen that this year in practice with Fabian Lovett talking to the young defensive lineman, with Dylan Gibbons talking to the younger offensive lineman.
Right.
Hell, you've seen it with Jared Verse talking to Armella across the line of scrimmage from one another. And they're all kind of in this together. That's the great buffer that can help you avoid some of these issues where a guy acts out of nowhere.
Without question.
And that's where Sam McCall sticks out like a sore thumb, because you do have that health in the locker room. You say, man, you're going to step outside that?
Well, let me make this clear. I only use that as an example. I don't know what happened with Sam McCall. I'm not saying Mike didn't do that at all. I just want people to know. I'm not placing any blame on Mike here. All of the evidence suggests this is a Sam problem, obviously.
No, yeah, I know you're not doing that.
I want people to understand that, but that coaches now in this era more than any other, because guys can just ride. Simply born out of frustration. They can just ride.
But it materially can help if you've got a healthy culture of players.
Without question.
That can help.
Without question.
Nip this in the bud, that if a team leader, a segment leader comes over to you and says, sit tight, it's going to pay off.
Coaches will do that too. They'll go to that segment leader. They'll go to that player, that senior, that junior, and say, hey, look, I can tell so-and-so is getting really frustrated. They're disappointed. I have a roadmap for him. We have a plan. You need to get this across to him. I can't talk to every Tom, Dick, and Harry every day who's frustrated at practice. I've got the big picture I got to worry about here. And we're doing install and all this other stuff for the guys that are going to be playing on Saturday. But I do need you guys to help him understand there's a path, man. We've got a roadmap for you. And it differs. I mean, obviously for some people, it's just about, you need to learn the other aspects of your position. Your talent alone is no longer going to get you by. It did in high school. It always has, in all likelihood. If you're that good that you're being recruited here, it's likely that your talent alone has always gotten you through, gotten you by. Not only gotten you through and gotten you by, but you've excelled. You've dominated.
Yeah, you're right. And that's the new problem that's coming for this program. And it's a good one, because if you think about
really good problem
how we got here, a lot of these dudes are transfer portal kids. And what, by definition, does a transfer portal kid have when they arrive on their second campus? Chip on their shoulder. They got something to prove.
Yeah.
That's the reason they're here, is because they have something to prove. So you don't have to push that button. They know that they weren't good enough, or the situation that they came from was not ideal. So they're going to have the new lease on life that you don't have to worry about. They've had the disappointment. They've already been served humble pie. But when you get an 18-year-old or a 17-year-old that is a 5-star and they arrive on campus, they haven't been served that yet. And so it's going to happen here.
Yeah.
And how do you retain them? It's a new problem for a lot of the kids that are going to be coming in, because, again, the kind of kids that we were recruiting before this year or 2024 class, they already probably had something to prove themselves too. Not the transfer kids, but the high school kids.
Yeah.
Now you're going to get the ones. You're going to have a guy that wears "I am him" as a T-shirt when he's on campus.
He does.
So when "I am him"
shows up,
gets "I am locked down."
Yeah,
you're probably going to have an extra conversation that you're not used to having.
It's just it's a fascinating. I mean, to me, it's a difficult question for coaches to answer or to go about tackling, because I think that, Tom, part of this, like, if we think about this, I'm old. When I grew up, social media didn't exist. The internet didn't exist, for Christ's sake. Okay? It didn't exist. So instant anything wasn't a thing, save for fast food. That's it.
And that was brand new.
So cars were just being built.
What is this TV dinner?
What are we doing here? But it is a different, every generation has something else to deal with, right? And so the coaches of today have to deal with the instant world, right? That instant gratification. I deal with this with my kids all the time. They want something, they want it now. It's because everything is a button away. You just, you don't know something? Click. There you go. Now you do. I mean, it's amazing, right? So when it's not happening, you have to sit guys down and say, this is my plan for you, and this is why you're not starting. Like, here, you don't understand. I do. This is why you're not starting.
That's also where the consistency of the message is critical. And we believe that this head coach specializes in the consistency of the message, from the first time he sees them in a junior day setting or whatever to the time where they sign.
Mm-hmm.
He's not telling them something new to push them over the top. A lot of coaches do. We're lucky in that regard.
Well, it's the quickest way to lose all trust is to give different messages each week, each month, each year. I mean, it's the quickest way to lose people. And I think, when a kid can see through a guy pretty quickly early in their career, you got a problem on your hands. So it is a very good thing that we don't have that problem here. And you're right, because we've seen it. The last two head coaches prior to Mike had a credibility problem.
Just a little bit.
They had a credibility issue.
DeAndre Francois has got to grow up. Terrible, terrible young man. DeAndre's going to be our starter.
That was great. There were a lot of those moments. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
This is Kyle, service manager from Barano Heating and Air. Schedule an appointment from your mobile device to learn about our Total Comfort Service Program. With guaranteed same-day service, 15% off necessary repairs, and $25 berry books to use towards air filters and other products. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Any day, anytime, anywhere. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license CAC 1816-186.
And now, welcome back to A Penny for Our Thoughts, a unique spodcast presented by Pinch A Penny Pool, Patio, and Spas. On the line today to share some thoughts, this is our first caller, Barry Tired. Mr. Tired, what's on your mind? Penny for your thoughts today.
Well, I'm thinking I might legally change my name soon because I don't identify anymore as being Barry Tired. Ever since I got my new hot tub from Pinch A Penny in Tallahassee, I've never slept better. After a long day, I just melt into another place and it takes all my stress away. I sleep like a rock and wake up refreshed. I'm I'm thinking I might actually change my name to Barry Happy. What are your thoughts?
Rich and compelling. We think everyone should run down to Pinch a Penny and take advantage of amazing prices on hot tubs right now. Over 12,000 square feet of hot tub heaven. We'll talk again next time on Penny for Your Thoughts, a Pinch a Penny pool, patio, and spa podcast. Visit Pinch a Penny on Greer Street today to see their huge collection of over 50 hot tubs on site. Merry Christmas to you.
Physical stress on our bodies can take its toll as the years go by. Whether you're looking to get back into an old sport or just want to spend more time outdoors to explore all life has to offer in our beautiful city, the dedicated team at TOC is here for you every step of the way. You can trust TOC for all your orthopedic needs. And now, scheduling an appointment has never been easier. Just visit teamtoc.com and click schedule online. That's teamtoc.com.
Let me tell you what T-Spark stands for. It stands for strength, commitment, teamwork, and heart. We don't ever quit until we've got nothing left to give. Our team is unstoppable. Want a guaranteed win? Call T-Spark Enterprises for your next roofing or construction project. We conquer all peaks. TSparkConstruction.com. License number CCC 1331204.
Hey everybody, the perfect fireplace makes your house a home. How's your fireplace looking? Not too well? Hearth and Patio can help you with that. Actually, Hearth and Patio can help you with anything fire. Give my friends a call at Hearth and Patio. If you need new fireplace upgrade, fireplace repair, you need custom outdoor kitchen, grills, or an amazing fireplace for your backyard. 850-727-4282. That's 850-727-4282. Or you can visit them online at hearthpatiotallahassee.com. Hearth Patio Tallahassee. They keep the home fires burning.
Let's take a minute to imagine all the things you can accomplish with help from Southeast Portable Buildings. Are you a hoarder? Hoard some more. Get a storage shed. Mother-in-law moving in with you? Put her in a shed out back. I'm kidding. Still working on that engine that you're going to finish from last summer? Move it out to a new workspace with Southeast Portable Buildings. From she sheds and man caves to repair shops and trophy rooms, the possibilities are only limited to your imagination. Visit Southeast Portable Buildings today.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Welcome back to the Jeff Cameron Show, sponsored by Legendary Home Loans, a mortgage experience designed around speed, simplicity, and customer service. Before you buy your next home, contact our friend Shannon Young with Legendary Home Loans. Visit FSUHomeLoans.com. FSUHomeLoans.com.
And that also signifies it's time for us to make a bit of an announcement, which is, once again, we will be teaming up with our friends at the Guardian Ad Litem with an opportunity to bowl for charity, help kids get Christmas gifts that otherwise wouldn't. And that is a glorious thing indeed. We will be bowling on December the 13th. At 7 p.m., District 850. Same as last year's location. We appreciate their support, and we appreciate all of your support. Tomorrow, we will tell you how to get registered, sign up, get your team on board, and let's go bowling December the 13th, 7 p.m., basically 7 till close, or as long as you want to stay there. And we'll have a good time, and more importantly, we will have an opportunity to gather gifts for the kids that need it most. And that is an awesome thing. It gets better and better every year. And you guys have been awesome. I don't know how long we've done this now, a very long time. And it's always the highlight of the season for me. So looking forward to giving you the details tomorrow in terms of how you get signed up. Whenever registration, when that window opens, you're going to, if you guys are interested, we give you a day buffer here, okay? If you're interested, if you think you got a team, it's 4 people per team. So it's you and 3 others. If you want to bowl and you've missed out, tomorrow when we say that open the gates, it's happened, you're going to have to sign up quick because it fills very quickly. And, there are only so many lanes over there. So it fills up very, very quick.
It was a good atmosphere last year. Enjoyed District 850.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a touch of class to it.
It adds a little something. Yeah, we spruced up the joint a little bit.
You're right. Yeah.
So
the bar's set up, the midway. Some of the bowlers snuck away and went and played some games.
It's a good bar. There are a lot of video games to play. A lot of
Papa
things.
shot.
You can do lots of things, and you can bowl and give gifts to the kids, and we'll celebrate. But tomorrow on the show, we'll tell you how to get registered. You want to do it over the weekend. You want to do it that day if you can. Otherwise, you're going to miss out again. And we don't want that. We don't want to do that. I think, did we fail last year, you and I, to meet our stated goal in terms of the scores?
I forget, but I think I might have hit it in the last game. I went low though.
Yeah, you didn't have high expectations.
No, it was
for
like
yourself.
$140 or $140 and change. I think I got there.
Well, we're gonna raise the bar, buddy. Let's get you up to 160.
Ooh, all right.
Let's get something to shoot for.
Cue the Rocky montage. I better get to work.
Yeah, get to work. Get to practicing. You and I'll go over. I'll meet you over there.
Okay.
Let's just go bowling. That's not the same as, hey, you want to go swimming?
No, not at all. That's actually a good phone call.
Yeah, let's go bowling. Have some drinks and do some bowling.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm in for that. Yeah, we'll do that.
Is that Jeff and Tom? It's Tuesday at 11 in the morning.
They took the day. Yeah, they're bowling all day.
Best of 11. Come on, best of 11.
I wonder, yesterday, a bunch of things happened after the show concluded. And I thought to myself, man, this could have happened while we were on the air. Here I was telling everybody in Florida that kitten kid's going to be good.
Were you really? Whoops.
I thought they might be set at quarterback. Oopsie. No, we got a problem on our hands.
He needs to be put away.
Oh,
pronto.
It would if he's guilty. In fact, yes, he does. That's wow. That'll floor you. I was stunned by 2 news items yesterday. That one, for those that don't know, child porn, pet her ass. And then the other.
Good luck in Chino.
With a record. So in addition to that one, that blew me away, and it's disgusting, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. It's self-evident what we see there.
Me and Jared from Subway can share a cell.
That's a toughie. Geez. But then the other thing was Mickey Joseph, who had been the interim head coach at Nebraska, I guess took not getting the job very, very much to heart. I mean, goodness gracious. Come on. That that joke does not imply that I'm glossing over domestic abuse. It's not implied in that.
I'm just doing my Philip Seymour Hoffman here. Tara Reid's on the set. All right. Okay.
That was tough, man. I read that. I was like, well, that's the end of a career. You're done. That's it. And obviously, I hope the woman's okay. But I mean,
yeah. It escalated quickly from Mickey.
My God, Mickey, we're going to go a different direction. We're going to hire Matt Rule. Don't take it so hard, Mick. Terrible news there. So I hate to see, that's a guy that was apparently beloved there. Well,
no longer.
No, that's the end of that.
You're gone.
That is the end of that. So 2 shocking developments yesterday. Here's the third that's not shocking. Here's a little good news. I'll just sprinkle this out there, okay? Take a right turn. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I saw a quote very quickly in the Herald, I think it was, regarding the exit interviews and the season wrap-up for Miami because they're not going to a bowl.
No, they're not.
You got to have...
They didn't qualify.
Radakovich was talking about how they're all united behind Mario Cristobal.
Sure.
I'd forgotten the detail that he was given a 10-year deal, at $80 million. And there was an unnamed source. I believe this is Barry Jackson's piece, but an unnamed source who said something to the effect of, the buyout is enormous, but nobody's talking about the buyout right now. Everybody's behind Mario.
Wow. How great is that?
What a great quote.
What an amazing quote.
The buyout is enormous. Nobody's talking about the buyout right now, though, because we're all in lockstep.
Yeah.
Behind Cristobal.
I don't know how the buyout even got brought up. This is crazy.
And there was a question about, I don't know if this is on the record or off the record, about the 10-year deal. And the person, as opposed to signing him to maybe a 6-year deal. And the person said, I don't know that he would have left for anything less than 10 years. Oh, really?
Really?
Except you were bidding against yourselves.
You were bidding against yourself is right. Nobody else wanted Mario Cristobal.
He wasn't going to come here to his beloved alma mater for anything less than 10 years?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
right.
a really healthy situation down there.
This is the speculative season. This is fun. I'll throw one out there. It does seem like within the industry of the people that I talk to that Deion Sanders will be the next head coach at USF. And
Colorado.
Yeah, well, if I'm him, I take the USF. It's a better job than the Colorado job. It's a better job because they're going to invest. They care. They understand the importance of football and what it does for your overall standing.
Is Willie going to be his OC?
I have no idea.
Oh, come on now. He worshipped at the altar of Willie Taggart when Willie was hired here.
He did, but if you're USF...
Florida State, I'm back.
Well, listen, if you're USF, it's a really good hire. Deion will be able to recruit there.
Correct. If you're trying to make a splash...
Yeah, it's a good hire.
Yeah, this is how you swing for the fences.
This is what you do. Well, he already got the pool upgraded in terms of money. That job was a $2 million a year job, and Deion basically got it moved up to $4 million. And so now the head coach is here's why I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to throw this out there to you because I've been thinking about this. So if that's $4 million, you'd start wondering, okay, so if that's the head job at USF, who are they going to go after? Because we now know it's known that's what they're willing to pay. So even if Deion didn't take it, you now have to pay $4 million because you just told everybody that you're willing to come up to $4 million. That's the only thing I worried about as it pertains to Alex Atkins. I worried that they would come after him. So when I heard that Deion was their candidate, I thought, oh, good. Let him go there. He won't be able to consistently out-recruit Florida State, Florida, and Miami at USF.
Yeah.
But he'll do a good enough job to win games. And they want to facilitate getting their own stadium. They want to do a lot of things.
Are we sure about that? Because if it goes the other way, it's going to go in a blaze of glory.
Well, I will tell you.
It's a critical first couple of years for Deion, wherever he goes. Because if it turns bad, he's not going to stay there and hang around.
Of course he won't.
He'll blame the administration. He'll blame everybody else. That's why it'd be kind of cool if he's a bull, because he's kind of full of bull.
He is, but I think it's what they need. I mean, they need a splash.
Both things can be true.
Right.
If you're USF, you're trying to make a name for yourself. This could, if it worked, it's not a Rafael Palmeiro home run. This is an Aaron Judge 550-foot home run, if it works.
Well, they'll get their stadium and they'll be able to do all the stuff that they want to do. They'll elevate their status and all that. I think it would make sense, by the way, for him to go there. You don't want to go out to Colorado. You can't get kids to go there. It's a hard school to get into. It's an elite academic institution, and they don't support football the way you need to in a Power 5 conference. And getting kids to come to Colorado. Now, I love that campus. It's beautiful. I've been there. It's an awesome place. It's a great school. Like if you went there and graduated, it's a good degree. It's a good school, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about trying to play football and win games. And you just have a hard time recruiting there. There's overwhelming evidence of it. They haven't mattered in forever. It is kind of a shame that they haven't mattered in forever. They once split a national championship, even though that was dubious. They did matter at one time, and they haven't in a long
on the doobie.
It was
Colorado.
I mean, they had some. There was a time there. Rashawn Salam and the like were good players. They were good players. By the way, he committed suicide. Did you know that? That wasn't that long ago.
I feel like we covered that day, but I had forgotten.
Bothered me.
That's one of the first names I remember as a young kid.
He was a good
watching
player.
The NFL.
Yeah, he was a good player. Anyhow, so I don't think Deion's going there. I'm sure Colorado loved that he outed them. I mean, that's just like right off the bat. I'm like, oh, of course, Deion. That's what you do. But anyhow, that's what he does.
I actually laughed at that one. There are things he does where I go, oh my God. But when he's that report is true. They have reached out. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
That's kind of refreshing.
I'm sure.
Instead of I'm here. This is the only place I want
to be.
Well,
don't do that. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Anyhow, I think he's going to take the USF job. I'm speculating here. I think he is. I think that's the job that he'll want. He'll want more money. I think they're probably trying to work hard on getting money for his pool of coaches. Because if you're Deion, look, first of all, if you're Deion, you're rich already. So think about what it's going to take to win. Now that guy will be the CEO coach, and there's nothing wrong with that. I've been talking about this era. You're going to see more of that. And he'll be tasked with the responsibility of recruiting, using his name to recruit. That's what he brings to the table. So you got to have good coaches around you to teach the kids, to coach the kids, because you're doing this other stuff. So you're going to need some money for that staff, and he's going to try to get that pool way up there. It's going to be interesting if that happens. And I do think it's probably going to happen. I don't know what to think about that. Initially, from an FSU standpoint, for all the schools, the big three, that's a bit of a problem. He'll take some kids.
Yes, he could take a kid or two.
Yeah, he could.
And also he could be a transfer destination if a kid's not happy at one of the big three.
That's exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to have to transfer portal the hell out of this thing because he wants to win quick. And you can do that. Also, it is my understanding that getting kids into USF to play football is a bit like getting kids to go to Louisville and play football. The standards are quite a bit easier.
Well, go way back to Pierre Paul.
Right.
Pierre Paul wanted to come here.
We couldn't get him in here.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
The dad guy put a comment out there that I saw the Tim Linnefeld tweet too, the dad guy, which is our friend Tim. It said Deion will be the first head coach to choose from a pile of hats as to where he's going. It was a good tweet by Tim.
Tim is in my phone from yesterday as we were having a text exchange, not about that, but rather about music, which is usually what we test. That or we just sit around talking to each other about how bad the Pirates are.
Any good albums coming out? You guys talk about any new releases?
We didn't bring that up. We brought up something else entirely, but we were talking about a live record that is coming out that we're excited about. But anyhow, that's I'll tell you about it later. I don't want everybody to know about it.
Screw the band's success. I want them to have nominal success to retain.
Joke. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
On September 5th, 2021, the Sheriff's Office said it received a request from the Thomas County Coroner's Office to investigate a possible poisoning death, and they announced Tuesday that they arrested Torrey Federick, whose maiden last name is Robinson, in relation to the death investigation. The Sheriff's Office said it, along with the Thomasville Office of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, jointly conducted a 14-month investigation into the death of Torrey's husband, Phil Federick. A shooting early Tuesday morning outside a downtown club injured a man after officials say the gunfire stemmed from an altercation. The Tallahassee Police Department confirmed the shooting happened near the Warehouse Club on West College Avenue around 1:30 a.m. The man was shot in the arm, is expected to survive. The incident is still under investigation and no arrests have been made. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Lots of sunshine this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 64. Winds out of the northeast, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 46. Tonight, mainly clear skies. Tomorrow, highs level off around 73. Temperatures a bit above average Saturday and Sunday with highs from the mid-70s to the upper 70s. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 63.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF,
Your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Jeff, look at this beautiful day, man.
Yeah, it's getting a little chilly. I like it. You know, I'm a colder weather guy, but I worry about it for you because you can't wear the Speedo in the cold. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to wear a Speedo in the cold.
Jeff, it's always Speedo weather, man. We can always do this. Besides, my pool, it's heated.
Which means you're insufferable in a Speedo year-round?
Cannonball!
Still gross. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Hey, Matt.
Yes, Greg?
You know all the different ways that you can listen to Real Talk 93.3?
There are several.
So we've got realtalk93.com. You can go back and listen to all of our shows in the podcast section.
That's right. You can also listen on our app as well.
Search Real Talk 93.3 and look for the red microphone and download our app. Never go anywhere without us.
And of course, you can always listen right on the radio.
Well, they are listening.
Are they?
If they're hearing this commercial, then they're listening.
That's true. I hadn't thought about that.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Now, if you got to play in the Cheez-It Bowl, at least you're playing a name opponent.
Feels like it has kind of whittled down to Orlando, Jacksonville as 2 potential destinations. But if North Carolina was to upset Clemson, who the hell knows at that point? That could throw everything into a tizzy.
Yeah, we have to wait for the official stuff to finish up here and have a better grasp. But yeah, I did see, I know we posted that on Warchant, Gene did, noting that Action Network had mentioned today that the Cheez-It Bowl would be the most likely destination, Florida State versus Oklahoma. By the way, Action Network has that as Florida State -1 against Oklahoma. I've watched a good bit of Oklahoma this year, as I'm wont to do, and they can't stop you and me from scoring. So as long as Florida State gets some stops, this is us over on the total, whatever it is.
Yeah, I hear you, and I totally agree. I'd like to know who exactly for the defense is going to be participating in the bowl. We've got good news yesterday.
Right.
If you didn't join us yesterday, that both Jared Verse and Jamie Robinson are going to play. Bit of a stunner,
yeah,
but they're both going to play.
Yeah.
If Fabian Lovett says, me too, well, we're in business.
Well, it certainly beats the alternative. I would be surprised if that happened, but
I would have been shocked if you told me that one of the 3 of Verse, Robinson, and Lovett was playing in the bowl game. I would have been stunned if you said one of them will. Really? I would have set the over-under at 1/2.
The reason for Florida State going to either the Gator Bowl, the Cheez-It Bowl, which seem to be the leading candidates, is fairly obvious. No matter who we play, Florida State fans are going to sell this thing out. We haven't been to a bowl in seemingly forever. It feels that way.
I was surprised because I'm sure it's happened to you as well. You've gotten questions about the bowl, a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Friends from all parts of the South are saying, hey, do you know what bowl? I'm trying to make plans.
They're in. They want to come.
You're trying to make plans to go to a non-New Year's Six bowl. Good for us as a fan base. We are not taking it for granted. Congratulations. I think the message finally hit home.
Well, doing without for a long period of time will wake you up to what you had and perhaps what you took for granted. So that we've seen this now. I mean, I think my dad, before he left this past weekend after we went to the game together, he's like, well, whatever bowl game, I mean, I'll meet you there. I'll plan to meet you there. I was like, I mean, he didn't care what it is. He's just eager to go to a bowl.
How do you feel about Orlando as a bowl destination?
Well, you know how I feel. I'm not happy.
How would I list you on the NFL injury report for an Orlando bowl game?
I'll go, man. I'll go. I mean,
we're going to list you as questionable.
No, I'll go.
Okay.
I'll go. And you know what? We'll try to make the most of it. We'll see what's the big lake there that everybody seems to be in love with?
We're going to downgrade him to a doubtful, Director Matthew. We're going to go doubtful. Lake Buena Vista? You want to go play LBV golf? That's a good course. You and me, buddy.
Okay, I can do that if we're gonna go. If we're gonna play golf,
Two strangers from the Midwest.
There it is. Yeah,
that's how it works in Disney properties.
Who's no? What's the name of the giant ass lake? There's a big lake in Orlando that everybody talks about. It's just a freaking lake, but people love it. I can never remember the name of it because I try to stay out of Orlando. But
pretty much only know the Disney properties.
Giant lake, man. Come on, people in the chat. Tell me the name of the damn lake. You know the lake.
What do you do?
It's the big one.
You just sit out there and sweat? Like what's the draw?
I don't know what the draw is. It's a lake.
Lake Eola?
No, that ain't it. Somebody will tell me. It's not Lake George. There's no oceans over there, so people are just gonna be naming random lakes out there. Come on, give me the big lake, the really good one.
Lake Bell?
No. Anyhow, I'll go to that. We'll go golfing. We'll do some amusement park stuff. Oh, buddy, get some cotton candy. Oh, won't it be grand?
Okeechobee?
No. Nona. Isn't it Nona? That's the
Lake
one.
Nona?
Yeah, I think it's the one. Nona.
I agree, Renegade. I said Buena Vista in all caps. I agree.
I think it's Nona. It's like in the downtown area, right? The big ass lake in the downtown. This is great radio. Yeah, Nona. It's got to be Nona. Whenever I bring up
sit on a dock out there.
Whenever I make fun of Orlando, people are like, but lake, Nona. Or whatever. Yeah, I'm like, well, that's a lake.
Eola is downtown. It says famous Jameis. I guess we're gonna have to get an education. Maybe we can go to the Chamber of Commerce.
I want to go to the best golf course in Orlando if we have to go cover a bowl.
Whoa, there's a couple of.
Let's go.
Yeah,
come on. Let's do this thing.
Why don't we go pay our respects to Arnold Palmer and go to Bay Hill?
I'd like to go to Bay Hill. Let's play Bay Hill. Let's go. You why do you say it like it's
because like, of your affinity.
The way that you
for your
say,
affinity of Arnold Palmer.
No, you say it like you're gonna go pee on his grave. Like it's like
I'm teeing you up because that's how you feel about Mr. Palmer.
I
call him Mr. Palmer.
Oh. What? By the way, what is it about Arnold Palmer that everybody does that? Mr. Palmer designed this. Mr. Palmer. Why does they don't do that with Jack?
It's because of the pink sweater that's tied over his shoulders. It's class.
It cracks me up. They all do it with him. Oh well, when Mr. Palmer was here, we've left Mr. Palmer's office exactly as it was
because he's one of the few men in the history of this country that can be both blue collar and white collar at the same time.
No, that's what it is. I'm just laughing. Yes, and Noel Dad, I hear you. Tom, you can't go to Bay Hill unless Jeff gets tickets from a dead guy. That's my master's story that I've told many times. And my dad would not ask the family at the funeral or the viewing about the badges, I should say.
Dad, I don't need Christmas presents for the next 5 years. Yeah. Just do this for me.
Just when you're at the funeral, let's remind everybody that those badges are accounted for. They were coming my way.
You know what? The patience that you had to summon for that unfortunate event on multiple levels
made me appreciate it even more.
Was paid well, and it was paid off more than anybody ever should have it pay off.
Nobody will. Yeah, that's correct. That is correct. I have the best master story. I got to go in the cabin and talk to Jack and his wife and his entire family.
I didn't know that part of it.
Yeah, you did.
No,
yes, you
I got you.
So yeah, nobody will beat that
complete
story.
The circle. Now we got to go to the statue with Mr. Palmer and take the photo, and we can
Mr. Palmer's dead. We can't take any photo with
the statue.
Oh, the statue. Sorry,
the giant statue.
Yeah,
it's not big enough. I don't think. I think it needs to be a larger statue of Mr. Palmer. But then we can play Bay Hill together. That would actually be a blast.
All right, that's the plan. We're playing Bay Hill. I'll make some calls. I'll say I know Mr. Palmer is not there.
Oh, you're going to be blacklisted from Bay Hill. They say, "Oh, we know about you."
Listen, you're the one who's bringing up Mr. Palmer repeatedly. I will just call in some favors, and we will be golfing Bay Hill, baby. Oh my God! I think the best. We had a series of really good lobs there, but I have to tell you, leaving Mr. Palmer's office as it was is I win that one. That's a good exchange.
If you can get a photo inside of Mr. Palmer's office. That'll be your new avatar.
The problem we have if we do this, it would be. And for people who listen to this show, they would love it. Everybody else would be like, why is he standing in Mr.
With
Palmer's
a respectful
office?
look at the respect he has.
Yeah. No, but what would be funny is if we did it, that would probably be the last time we'd ever be allowed back because people would then tell them about the joke, about our way of speaking about Mr. Palmer. With the way that they would see this as disrespectful, I think. Although I'm not intending it to be. You're the one who's going after.
I'm just putting it on a tee because you made some comments about Mr. Palmer over the years, and we could fix that though.
No,
one sacred experience at Bay Hill is all fixed.
I have no problems really with Mr. Palmer. I will just tell you that towards the end of his life, he was a bit of a curmudgeon. And every time I heard him interviewed, I thought, well, this guy is angry. What in the world, Arnie? Get it together. Why so angry? Now, I'm sure that was just, he was tired of the media, perhaps. All of the other reports are that was a wonderful human being. So that's where I'll leave it. I think he was a wonderful human being.
The king of the handwritten letter. What? He replied to everybody who ever wrote to him. Every single person.
I don't think that's true. King of the handwritten letter, which has since been adopted by Peyton Manning. Did you know that, Tom?
Thank God.
Hour number 2 forthcoming. The new home in the current climate. All heard that demand is high, inventory is low. So how do you get a leg up on the rest of the buyers all making offers on the same house as you? Oh, that's a toughie. But the first place I'd suggest you start is with a call to my friend Shannon at Legendary Home Loans. Shannon will set you up with a complete pre-approval underwriting. This used to be an upgrade, but nowadays it's got to be standard. You want to get your offer on a new home pushed to the front of the line, you need a TBD full underwriting approval from Legendary Home Loans. You'll shorten or even remove your financing contingency, and the sellers will know that your offer is real and ready to go. It's tough out there these days, folks, so why not have the advantage of a proven winning team in your huddle? Get pre-approval underwriting from my friend Shannon with the one and only Legendary Home Loans. Call now, 844-FSU-LOAN, 844-FSU-LOAN, or just visit FSUHomeLoans.com. FSUHomeLoans.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS number 2270146.
Thank you for calling the Medicare Help Desk. How can we help you?
Can you help me choose the right coverage for myself and my wife?
We sure can. We can help you choose from Medicare supplements, Medicare Advantage, or standalone prescription drug plans from over 30 different insurance carriers.
How much does it cost? We have a fixed income and can't afford extra expenses.
At the Medicare Help Desk, the consultation is completely free. We are here to help.
Thank you, Medicare Help Desk.
Hi, this is Justin Colvin, founder of the Medicare Help Desk. In my 17 years of experience, I routinely speak to seniors who are overwhelmed by the multitude of coverage options available to them. That's why I created the Medicare Help Desk, a place for you to get clear answers to all your questions and make sense of all the confusion. I've helped thousands of clients, and I live right here in Tallahassee with my family. I am active in my church and wish to help and serve my community. If you need help navigating the Medicare landscape, I'm easy to find. Just visit the MedicareHelpDesk.com. That's the MedicareHelpDesk.com.
Car accident? Call 777-7777 for Basic Brooks.
Leaky faucet, busted pipes, clogged toilet? M&L Plumbing is here for you. For all commercial, construction, and residential plumbing issues, call M&L Plumbing at 575-9393 or visit online at mnlplumbing.com.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Real Talk 93.3. Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Gretna, Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. President Biden has welcomed French President Macron to the White House. Speaking during a Oval Office meeting with Macron, the president called him a key partner.
Emmanuel is not just the leader of France, he's one of the leaders of Europe. He's been very outspoken and he has been very, very commanding.
After those discussions, the two have now just concluded a joint news conference. The visit will conclude with a state dinner at the White House. President Biden welcoming the House vote averting a nationwide rail strike, but stays silent on the issue of workers' sick days.
Under the bill, rail companies and workers will be bound to a compromise labor agreement, but that deal does not include paid sick leave, which was a major sticking point in the contract talks. The president's statement of support for the congressional intervention makes no mention of paid sick leave.
White House correspondent Greg Cluxton. Also at townhall.com, the Biden administration considering redeploying more U.S. air marshals from airliners to the southern border.
The Washington Examiner reports the marshals risk being fired for refusing the orders, but it's a risk they're willing to take. The administration plan would leave just 1 in 100 U.S. flights with federal agents on board. That's 1/8 the normal coverage. To add insult to injury, the air marshals already sent to the border have been basically put on babysitting duty for migrants being held by the Border Patrol. Rich Thomason reporting.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell says the Federal Reserve will push rates higher than previously expected and keep them there longer to fight inflation. But Powell also signaled the Fed may increase its key interest rate by a smaller increment at its December meeting. The Dow is down 252 points. The NASDAQ up fractionally. More at townhall.com.
Charlie Dombeck here from Key City Capital. As a practicing CPA for nearly 30 years, I have found that 80% of your ability to grow wealth is dependent upon two factors: taxes and investment performance. At Key City Capital, we improve investment performance by diversifying capital into off-market investment opportunities in passive rental real estate and alternatives like asset-backed lending. We recover dollars that clients unnecessarily pay in the form of income taxes, creating a lifetime annuity of savings. We are a sponsor of passive, affordable single and multifamily residential rental investments, which are located in Sunbelt landlord-friendly states. These investments are the top choices in a rising interest rate and inflationary environment. They represent a store of value, protecting your capital from market volatility. Learn how we at Key City Capital can help you ultimately grow your wealth rapidly. Connect with me at keycitycapital.com or give me a call at 817-912-1569.
Hey, what's happening, Jeff?
It is always good to see you, Eddie. Had a long day, my man. I was thinking about it. Gordo's was the place to ease the pain. You know, you're frustrated with your job, your aggravated life's beating you down. Maybe your wife's speaking. You got to get out the door.
You know what? Here at Gordo's, man, we welcome everybody. Disgruntled wives, disgruntled husbands, kids running away from home. We'll even give that kid a job. Send them our way.
Go make some money and eat delicious food at Gordo's. It's perfect.
And have a damn good time doing it.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996. We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We'll get to it in a moment. Well, we can flash it up on the screen. Why can't we? Yes, we can. Why can't we? There it is. There it is. Oh, my goodness gracious. All right, now I'll take it down. There you go. Hour number 2, Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant.
Got to disable Jeff's posting controls.
Come on. That was good. You had to laugh at that.
Maybe.
Oh, that was good. That was good. All right, so I don't have wagers today. It is Redemption Thursday, but we have these matchups that interest me to some degree. But I like to throw out 10 games. I'll do something maybe tomorrow. I'm not on a side on a lot of these. I kind of think Kansas State's going to beat TCU. By the way, should have beat them the first time they played. They were up 28-10, and they lost that game 28-10. And they lost that game. And TCU has done that to a lot of people, come back and found ways to win games. Part of me does not want K-State to win that game because I don't want Ohio State or Alabama backdoor in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I hate that. That's the one thing. Now, we saw today.
They both could get in. USC loses and TCU loses, and there it's meet the new boss.
Ridiculous. They've announced that 2024, they will expand the playoff to 12 teams.
Real quick, let's just say that doomsday scenario happens.
Which would suck.
TCU, USC lose. Could they really put Alabama in over Tennessee? Because right now they're 6-7. Tennessee is lower on the totem pole than Alabama. They couldn't possibly do that.
Well, the committee could do whatever the hell they want. They make it up as they go along anyhow. I don't, listen, in fairness.
Maybe because of the Hooker injury, that gives them the leeway.
That they'll say, hey, look, team that beat Alabama is no longer helmed by
the Hooker.
And oh, by the way, without the Hooker, they won 56-0. And we forgot to make fun of that because one of my favorite things that happened there was that Vanderbilt announced via all their social media platforms, anchored down, it's a sellout. And they had this big celebration about how they'd sold it out for the first time in forever because they had won back-to-back games. Of course, they beat the Gators. And so they were very excited about winning back-to-back SEC games, beating Kentucky. Not a good loss, Kentucky. Beating Florida. Not a good loss, Florida. And then they thought, here's our chance. The Hooker is not playing quarterback for Tennessee. They're reeling. Their hopes have been dashed. Their dreams shattered. Anchor down. Here we go. And they repaid their fan base 56 to nothing. Thanks for coming out, everybody.
Also should note, you and I didn't talk too much about the game on Saturday. I wasn't around on Monday.
Yeah.
But congratulations are in order to Anthony Richardson for that final pass being in play. I know it was incomplete on fourth down.
Yeah, that's right, but it was in play.
It was not in the Champions Club.
It was not.
It landed in the end zone. That is progress from the Vandy finish.
I had a debate with somebody last night, a friend of mine, really smart football guy, about Anthony Richardson, and we were talking about his prospects as an NFL quarterback, and we were saying, would you take him? And he was saying, no, I'm not in the habit of taking inaccurate quarterbacks. And I said, oh, but you can when they are 6'4", 250 and can run like the wind, because we've seen lots of quarterbacks be given the opportunity to get better throwing the football if that's the one thing that they're knocked for in college. Either they ran an offense that didn't require them to be good from the pocket, or they just weren't in college and they had other aspects of their game that allowed that team to succeed. But they get into the league, and if there's no expectation of them to start right away, you take a risk on freak athletes. That's what you do. You take a risk on a freak athlete. And I would argue that somebody would pretty early.
Yeah, but would you want to do it if you were
I don't want to do it.
Okay. If you're picking in late first round, would you
not a first round. I wouldn't.
Some projections say that, because of his profile athletically, that
he is a freak.
That's where he'd go.
He's a slightly smaller version of Cam Newton. He also has all the throws.
That's correct. That's why
you would do it.
I would take a chance on him in the second or third round, but never in the first round.
No, and it's going to take some time.
Yeah. People see Josh Allen when they see him.
Right.
I think.
Well, Josh Allen was an inaccurate college quarterback.
Right.
And everybody thought, well, if you can't complete passes in college, how the hell are you going to do it in the NFL? Well, he's the best quarterback in the league. Well, he's one of the two best quarterbacks in the league. I mean, he's a freak. So yes, Josh Allen has opened the door for any number of inaccurate quarterbacks who also happen to be freakishly big and strong and athletic. You know, a lot of people have tried, this gets into the conversation if we want to bring it back home. A lot of people have tried to project Jordan Travis. And it's a weird thing because we've seen how much growth Jordan Travis has made as a quarterback this past year. So, whereas if you had asked me over a year ago, could Jordan Travis play, I would laugh you out of the room about him being drafted in the first 2 rounds of the NFL draft. And I still would laugh. Nobody's taking him in the first 2 rounds. But the thought that I had back then was that he's not an NFL quarterback because he's not big enough. He's small. People like to compare him to Jalen Hurts, who's a great athlete, but Jalen Hurts is huge. I mean, he sets squat records and stuff. He's gigantic. He doesn't have a history of getting hurt. And no, Jalen Hurts was not a guy that a lot of people thought would make a good NFL quarterback. I'm not even sure the Eagles thought that. And then they built a great team around him, and he's emerged, and he's put in the work, and good for him. He's done a great job. I root for people, so I'm happy for him. But I don't think it's an apt descriptor or comparison because compared to Jordan Travis, Jalen Hurts is huge.
Correct. The
body density is massive.
So the 2 things that Jordan has done for his NFL prospects, to me, the first one's obvious, and we saw it out the gate.
Throwing the ball in the middle of the field, which he didn't do a year ago.
All over the field. He's got a lot of throws.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Now, he still is not an anticipatory thrower. He does not. That's not who he is. He's not throwing guys open. They're open.
Over the middle, I'd agree with that.
Okay.
On the outside, he's anticipatory at generating space and where to drop the ball.
Well, he's got nice touch on that throw. Yeah. I just don't think,
But also pre-snap, his IQ is, that's going to play very well for him at the next level in terms of counting and checking you into the right place.
Correct.
But the second thing I'd say that really helps his stock is that he has shown a great propensity now to get down without getting hit in the open field. You know, I know that there was a play with contact, the first touchdown he scores on the ground against the Gators, but you think about the other 2 that are marked down inside the 1-yard line. He is avoiding contact in those situations.
It has clearly been stressed to him. My man.
Think about the 4th down. They've got the little flare route,
and
then he decides, the hell with it, I'm just going to run up the middle. It's a little angle, make a guy miss, get down. That is part of who he is now. And that is, if you want to take him at the next level, you've got to know that he's not going to put his body in danger.
He can't. He'll get broken in half.
The odds are that he's in trouble much faster than the average.
Yeah, he's not a big guy, man. He's not. Amongst normal human beings, he's a decent-sized guy. But against the NFL, he's not a big guy at all. And now he can get bigger. He's going to keep lifting. I imagine he's going to continue to try to get bigger. He does. He has. I guess what I'm getting at is I don't want to count him out because of the growth that you just described. I mean, he went from absolutely just a running quarterback who occasionally makes a one-read throw. That was it. And he wasn't very accurate. And then he became this whole other thing. And that is a credit to him. That is a credit to him and the hard work he has put in. That is a credit to the coaching staff, Coach Tokars, all those guys. Good on you. And Jordan, good on you. I can't say it enough. I've been effusive with my praise of him because it is very rare, Tom, to watch a kid who has one set of skills at that position and watch him transform into an entirely different quarterback. He utilizes his legs when he needs to, but he goes entire games without running.
Yeah, and those numbers he had against Florida, which is 13 of 30, should read more like 20 of 30. All the drops.
Everybody couldn't catch the ball. Yeah.
For an extra how many yards? 100, 120?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was electric all over the field in every facet of his game. He made one poor throw, and it was the 4th and 12 that should have been picked. But it's 4th and desperate. Like, I'll even grant you that one to a degree. Most everything else he did the entire night was transcendent. He should have been taken down how many times for a sack?
Oh, he was amazing.
5, 6? And think about the difference in yardage on those plays. We talk about hidden yardage. The one where he's marked down inside the 1-yard line, it's 3rd and 12, whatever it is. That's a 30, 40-yard, 35-yard difference in terms of the sack to where the ball goes. And it's all because of him.
Yeah, he was a superhero on that night.
He will be on Heisman future lists if he comes back.
Without question.
Off-season odds.
He should be.
He will be on the list.
He's a very, very, very good college quarterback. I dare say he's a upper echelon college quarterback without question. And I would have never thought I was going to say that. Never. And it's not being a hater. It's just I didn't think he had that in him. I hadn't seen it. There was no evidence to that end. But then there was. And so that changes my opinion. I mean, my goodness gracious, he did a lot of things that he hadn't done before, and he did them consistently. That's the other thing. There were glimpses here and there, and people would grab these outlier moments and go, see? And I'm like, come on, man, watch all the games. He's not doing, But this year, game in, game out, he really only had, in total, I guess you could say it would all add up if you add quarters or halves, 2 bad games.
Yeah, if that.
I mean,
yeah.
It's probably 2 bad games. That's it. And then there were a ton of stellar games.
Well, and he's got to learn that was the other part as we were going through it. He hasn't been here to face these situations at this speed. You talked about it last hour. If you're a 5-star or high 4-star high school recruit, you've never seen anybody who can stop you with consistency. Well, Jordan is a preternaturally gifted collegiate athlete who also has a little something to him with the arm, but he hasn't faced anything as a throwing quarterback like he's seen this year. That's why if he does return, there is a path for growth. It's an easy argument to make.
Yeah.
Because those process errors that he made, like the throw to Pittman in the end zone at NC State, you're not going to make that calculation anymore.
No.
Because you've been there and you've done it.
And also, I've never, you don't hold any quarterback to an impossible standard of not making a single mistake over the course of a season. That just doesn't happen. Even your best quarterbacks make, Jameis Winston made a lot of asinine throws.
Absolutely.
And decisions. So,
14 in 2014. He made like 4 in 2013.
Yeah.
Like the whole season.
Right. 2014 was him spending entire halves making terrible decisions where you're like, what are we doing out here?
It's like the guy in the pickup game who picks up his own rebound off a long 3-pointer miss, throws it again, bank off the back iron, gets it again, throws it up, and he makes it. And he goes, see?
Yeah, and you're like, damn it, man. Yeah. But listen, nobody's confusing Jordan Travis with Jameis Winston in terms of size, arm, all of that. But yeah, I don't want to count Jordan out. I'm not going to do it anymore. I've learned my lesson. He's proven me wrong.
Yeah, the situational stuff. That's what I'm talking about. He's going to make mistakes. But, the 4th down to Johnny Wilson against Clemson, he's probably going to hit the flare. And look at it against Florida. I mean, it's the same situation. And the flare's open. He's like, the hell with it, I'm going to run. Perfect. That's what you're looking for. And that's what would happen next year, I would assume.
The offense is not my concern, man. We're going to be all right for years to come, I think, on offense. We really are. Mike's a good play caller. They game plan very well. Alex Atkins is a good coach. This offensive line is very well coached. You're going to lose Alex Atkins at some point, but there are other good offensive line coaches. So, you'll replace him. But he's really been vital in the turnaround. But Mike's calling plays on game day. So I don't worry about that. I think the offense will be fine. We're going to get an influx of even better players to run this offense with. God forbid we bring in a real tight end. Oh, my goodness. Can you imagine that? Which I think they will in the portal, by the way. I do. I mean, I know people would be like, really? Another tight end? Yeah, you can ask the other 17 to have a good day and bring in somebody, please.
Got to Matt Millen this thing. Keep going until you find Megatron.
Until you get one, right? Yeah. So I do think that you could probably find a really good tight end that's been productive in the Power 5 and the portal, and let's make a move. It would be important. I think they probably will. Everything else, I would tell you, needs to be on the defensive side. I think you agree with that. Maybe one offensive lineman.
Yeah, you could use.
You could probably use maybe 2.
Maybe 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying in terms of NIL money, the NIL money should go towards defense. You might be able to. I mean, we got a guard from Charlotte, and it worked. You can go find a guard from someplace where he's not going to command $250,000 off the street. You know?
Yeah. No, we're going to be all right. I'm not worried about. Go get you somebody. I imagine now this is a big time destination for transfer portal guys. You're going to have to turn people away. I mean, you're going to be in a real good position right now. That's what a winning season does for you.
What a great concept that is.
How about that?
You're going to have to say no to people.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't it be great just to, hey, guys, I know you want to come here. You're a 4-star. You were a 4-star coming out of high school, but we just don't have room for you. Miami seems to need players. Lots of them. Because they don't have any good players.
Got any players? Y'all got any players?
Miami's safety's in the portal, huh?
No, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wants to play in a bowl game, I guess.
Well, doesn't want to be down there steady getting his head kicked in 45-3. I mean, they were a weekly embarrassment. Humiliated. Teams just naming their score.
Yeah, Middle Tennessee.
Whatever you want to do.
Duke, they scored about the same as we did.
No pride. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
We understand how important it is to have transportation you can rely on. So no matter what the road ahead brings, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for over 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
I'm Andy Cohen with Florida Farm Bureau Insurance. Please call me at 850-671-FARM.
And now, welcome back to A Penny for Our Thoughts, a unique spodcast presented by Pinch A Penny Pool, Patio, and Spas. On the line today to share some thoughts, this is our first caller, Barry Tired. Mr. Tired, what's on your mind? Penny for your thoughts today.
Well, I'm thinking I might legally change my name soon because I don't identify anymore as being Barry Tired. Ever since I got my new hot tub from Pinch A Penny in Tallahassee, I've never slept better. After a long day, I just melt into another place and it takes all my stress away. I sleep like a rock and wake up refreshed. I'm thinking I might actually change my name to Barry Happy. What are your thoughts?
Rich and compelling. We think everyone should run down to Pinch A Penny and take advantage of amazing prices on hot tubs right now. Over 12,000 square feet of hot tub heaven. We'll talk again next time on Penny for Your Thoughts, a Pinch A Penny Pool, Patio, and Spa podcast. Visit Pinch A Penny on Greer Street today to see their huge collection of over 50 hot tubs on site. Merry Christmas to you.
Hey, this is Greg Tish. Here's something you might know about me. I don't drink coffee. I have never had a cup of coffee in my life. Well, that is until now. So why change now? Well, it's because my dear friend at Grassroots Coffee reached out to me after hearing me say that and insisted that I give his product a try. I've been making a huge mistake. The world of coffee is fascinating. I always thought coffee is coffee, you know? No, it's not. I have tried their coffee and it is fantastic. Now, I've got a fascination with learning more about the best coffee in our area. Grassroots Coffee is locally roasted, locally owned, and locally loved. You can find whole bean Grassroots Coffee on the local aisle at Publix, also in Whole Foods. But the best way to get this black gold is to order it online. They literally grind the fresh roasted beans to your preferred level, bag it, write the date on it by hand so you know the exact day your coffee was roasted. It doesn't get any more fresh than that. Order yours now. Just go to grassrootscoffee.com and choose the coffee you want and how you want it. And join me. Let's step up our coffee game together and also support a great local business.
Smith & Wesson is committed to empowering Americans no matter what. With inflation hitting everywhere, we've decided to make a change. Now, you can buy a Smith & Wesson Shield Plus, our most popular concealed carry firearm, at an all-new low price, $100 off MSRP. We're absorbing the costs and passing along the savings to you so you don't have to compromise on personal security. Visit smithandwesson.com to find a Shield Plus near you. Smith & Wesson, always expect the best.
SimpliSafe was named the best home security of 2022 by U.S. News & World Report. But we don't do what we do for the accolades. We do it to protect you and everything you love. Our advanced sensors and HD cameras are powered by 24/7 professional monitoring for fast emergency dispatch. Visit simplysafe.com/holiday to get 40% off any new system today. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Welcome back to the Jeff Cameron Show, sponsored by Legendary Home Loans, a mortgage experience designed around speed, simplicity, and customer service. Before you buy your next home, contact our friend Shannon Young with Legendary Home Loans. Visit FSUHomeLoans.com. FSUHomeLoans.com.
Today, I know yesterday saw you worried, very worried that a certain running back would decide that there's no future for him here and leave. And I think some people took it the wrong way. I like him. I like him a lot. It's just I was saying I have greater concerns on the roster in terms of departures. But I don't, maybe he wouldn't leave at all. He got some time this year.
That's right. Rodney Hill is committed.
Yeah, he may be here. Here we go. Let's go back to the roster, and let's apply this very same thing, Tom. Transfer portal possibilities to wide receivers. All right, we'll go to wide receiver and decide who we're worried about. It's a cool thing to say that out loud, to say that potentially you could lose some guys because the room has improved to a place where, we have 4 or 5 guys that you really trust. Maybe more. Maybe more. Who do you want to start with?
Could go numerically, and that would start with number 0, Ja'Kai Douglas.
He's not going anywhere.
I wouldn't think so, but you could see where an offense would say, we're missing just a speed guy who can either help lift a lid or give concerns over the slot, because we're kind of loaded at that position.
When he came back, though, they used him. When he came back from injury,
I agree.
They used him a lot. So he got enough touches. I usually worry about the guys that just aren't getting touches.
Fair enough. But they used him in a different way, a more standard kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, he was, more of the isolated in a matchup once a game, try a shot over the top.
Yeah.
If you think about it, there were quite a few plays when Ja'Kai Douglas came back that Jordan's rolling out and he's just hitting him over the middle for 10 yards or something.
He always seemed to be the safety valve when Jordan was scrambling and kind of off script. That was interesting. Yeah, he was a big off script player for us. Winston Wright's number 1, if memory serves. So he's not going anywhere. Obviously,
he's already transferred.
Micah Pittman is next at number 4.
I don't think there's any. Yeah, he again isn't somebody who transferred once already.
Yeah, when you get guys who've already transferred, that goes for the next one. Lakewood High School's own, baby. Deuce Spann. That's my guy. He's a Spartan. He's not going anywhere. Also, he transferred in from Illinois.
I was going to say, are you clutching to the idea of Deuce Spann here? Or?
Yeah, I think he's going to be a good player.
Okay.
You got to remember, Deuce, again, has not played a lot of receiver. Sophomore, right? So he's got time. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be a redshirt junior.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Keyshawn is gone, right? And he done, yeah.
Yep.
Malik McLean.
Boy, now this would have been a different answer on October 1st than it is now on December 1st.
Yeah.
This is the guy you want to keep. This is most certainly a guy you would effort to keep. He has shown flashes, and he already was a good blocker.
Because he's big. He's 6'4", 2 whatever. So, yeah, he's a big – yeah, we've got several big receivers that actually embrace blocking. So, I don't think Malik's going anywhere. He got touches. Johnny Wilson's obviously not going anywhere. Darian Williamson.
That's an interesting one because he came in out of nowhere, led the team in receiving against Boston College, I believe it was. He got hurt. I don't know. Of all these guys we named, there might be one that says – look at this depth chart. Darian might be that guy. Deuce would have to ask permission, I guess. Malik. Somebody might look at Malik and say that you could be a 1 for us based upon potential.
Malik is a guy, though, that, he played a lot. Again, you're talking about guys that are getting a ton of looks. It's more the guys that aren't getting looks. Like, I don't know. Would you worry about, well, no, Kentron got looks.
Towards the end of the year,
he got looks.
He got better and better.
I don't think we're losing any of these receivers. I don't think we are.
But if you're bringing in 3 receivers, one of which is Hakeem Williams, there's only one football. That's the hard part here. This is a huge room.
Maybe Darian would decide to ride. If you had to place a bet on the group, now I'm not talking about certain other guys. Hey, by the way, Lake Nona's own Carson Pilak is a freshman wide receiver. Lake Nona.
There you go. Now we know.
Yeah. I don't know, buddy.
Let me add Josh Burrell to the list because he was moved to running back. We would expect that could be a candidate.
I would put him high on the list of people that need to take it on down the road.
It's unfortunate because there's potential there to be an H-back, but I just don't think that he wants to be an H-back. I'm just talking about size,
He's
frame.
huge.
Yes, he is.
He's huge. Yeah. Yeah, Burrell would be a candidate to leave. He's not going to play a lot here. So
I guess my highest concern would be one of the two.
Darian Williamson and who?
No, I mean they can function without Darian. We know that.
Oh, I know. I'm just
There's
saying.
Plenty of evidence that.
But if we're just voting on guys we think could leave,
my worry would be between Malik and Kentron. One of those two.
That's fair. I think that Kentron would be more likely to leave. Now, that's not.
We're not trying to
I don't
facilitate.
They
this.
can all
it's
stay.
Just it's such a crowded room.
Yeah, but Kentron saw the ball at the end of the year. He also is responsible for one of the great catches of the season.
Yep. So's Malik. Remember the throw behind him?
Yeah, the throw behind him was. Yeah, that's right. That was a great catch.
It was
good call.
unreal.
That was a great catch. The Kentron catch on the sideline is insane.
Yes. Yeah.
I watched that over and over again. Like, damn, where'd that come from?
And also Malik's play, the deep post against Florida, second half. That's a huge momentum. I mean, continues the momentum.
Yeah, big play. Big play. Well, all right. We feel better about this room in a weird way. I mean, like yesterday.
Oh, they're loaded now.
But yesterday, though, I felt sure when we were going through the positions that we might lose 2 running backs.
Correct.
Like, I know you got scared when I brought up Rodney Hill, but, like C.J. Campbell or one of the other guys, Trayshawn Ward certainly could leave.
Yeah, I'm worried about Ja'Kai as well. It's just you think about slot, outside, there are 2 types of outside, and Johnny is at the same place that McLean is in terms of where they line up.
Mhm.
Kentron and can be on the other with Pittman. But then over the middle, you've got Wright and then Ja'Kai. I mean, and you could line up Pittman, obviously, in the slot, too.
Winston did this at a high level in the Power 5. So when he comes in,
right.
And yeah, you're right.
And Deuce, if he wasn't a transfer, I'd be worrying about him. But because he's a previous transfer, what are you going to do?
Well, listen, he just this year made the decision to truly embrace being a receiver.
Yeah.
He was still thinking he was a quarterback when he went to Illinois, and they convinced him to play some receiver, and he caught 2 passes. But he's making the transformation just because he is a freakishly gifted athlete, and his body type is perfect. I mean, he's an NFL body.
This is also where I think, the spring window would come into play. See, if I'm Ja'Kai, for example, I'll take it to spring and see if I can still outperform Winston Wright, who's recovering, Deuce Spann, who is a raw product. And if you win it out then don't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, Jordan likes you. He likes to go to you as a safety blanket, oddly enough, even though you're one of the smaller guys in the roster. But this could be something that I would think continues past spring ball. And whoever wins those battles, maybe that's where the shuffling happens.
Good room, healthy locker room in general. Big turnaround for Ron Dugans. It had us all probably smiling ear to ear midway through the season because it was evident by then your receivers had gotten a lot better. Jordan had options to throw to finally. That elevated his ability to play the position greatly. And then, of course, Ron was a guy that was basically on the cusp of being fired. I mean, they pretty much tried to replace him. But Mike didn't have stability as a head coach at the time, so nobody was going to take Mike up on his offer, allegedly. And now you're not doing anything because Ron's done a good job. He's got some kids, and they played well.
Yeah, now it's you get to, because the room is full, you get to enforce the details of the game. You brought it up earlier. It's a great thing. It's a bonus that both Johnny Wilson and Micah Pittman from California want to get physical on the edge.
I just laughed at Ryan's comment.
But Ja'Kai's got to get better at blocking because they've actually put him in some situations to block, which I think is interesting from a play call standpoint. And so does Deuce. Deuce has to get a hell of a lot better at that. You want to see the field, Mr. Spann?
Go back to the first hour. What's the path for you to see the field, young man? Here's our game plan. This is how we're going to get there. You need to do this, this, and this. I bet you they are desperately trying to teach him what this, and this is, because there's no way, after just getting glimpses of what he can do in practice, a couple times in games even this year, that you wouldn't want him out there. Who looks like that? Who runs like that with that? I mean, he is an NFL caliber athlete at receiver. So if you can polish and get him to be refined as a route runner and consistent catching the ball, then you want him on the field. He's one of your best athletes.
And if he doesn't want to,
we're loaded. Yeah. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to have. That was probably the most shot. You know how at the beginning of every year I say before the season starts, just so we can kind of wrap our mind around it, I always say, look, what do we know about college football? Let's just zero in on the ACC. What happens every year? A team you thought was going to be good ends up stinking. This year, that was Miami. They suck. And
Virginia.
Oh, well, lost their OC, and there you go. Anyhow, so, yeah, Virginia stinks and Miami stinks. There you go. But also every year there's a team that's bad that ends up being pretty good. You know, how'd that happen? Duke. Elko did an incredible job. Duke's pretty good. I mean, with 8 wins, I mean, that's crazy. So
Florida State, second highest in the polls.
Awesome.
In the ACC. That would not have been voted. It was not voted on.
It was not voted on.
Charlotte.
That's correct. Yeah. So good news there. It's true of players. When we do this, you think about there's no way we thought this room was going to be the receivers room. Would be this good. Or, I mean, they're not great. I don't want to make this sound like we have the best receiving core in the ACC because we don't. But are they pretty good? Yeah, they're pretty good.
Well, and they have a lot of variety. You know, it's not a whole bunch of possession receivers, not a whole bunch of slot receivers. You've got real variety here. They can play all different positions, and at each position, you've got answers. You want a red zone threat who's a little bit taller? We've got 2 or 3 of those. You want a slot guy who's quick? Got a couple of those. You need a blocker? Got several of those. Just any way you want to slice it up. It's like the variety you find at an ABC Fine Wine and Spirits in the state of Florida.
Well done, sir. I knew you'd get it in there.
Spirits everywhere.
And wine with chocolates, according to you.
Well, it's in a gift basket.
Oh, there it is.
One-stop shop for the holidays.
Can ABC tell, I don't know, half these tight ends that they're wanted elsewhere? Like, we can get ABC to get, guys, thanks for coming in and getting some wine. Jimmy, I think you need to take it on down the road to Arkansas or wherever.
It's like that $10 bottle of Popov. Hey, man, gets you through undergrad, though.
Oh, my goodness gracious. I don't know. Here's hoping Jarrell Powers it turns into a player, and Brian Courtney is dominating at linebacker next year. I'm calling it when it happens. You're going to be like, damn, Cameron was all over that.
Who knew? Wasn't physical enough to block. Was physical enough to tackle in space.
Plenty of tight ends can tackle at 235 pounds. Linebackers can tackle at 235 pounds. We see it all the time. Doesn't mean they can block somebody. Just means that they can tackle.
Man, it's harder to catch the ball and score touchdowns. I would like to keep him there because he's good at that.
Well, I mean, we think.
He's good at catching the football.
Well,
we know that. If he's good at catching the football, this offense is going to put him in a position where he can go score touchdowns.
But maybe you just have to move him to linebacker because you transfer portaled this thing and got you a real starter at tight end. He's already done it in the Power 5, and here he comes. Brian, we're going to have to move you to linebacker. I think that talk show host in the afternoons is right on. You're going to kick ass there.
I hadn't thought about it till I was driving home one day.
I was listening to Jeff, and he believes in you.
I must have been 2:15 on a Wednesday.
And I thought, damn, he's right. He's right. What have I been thinking? He's just wasting away over here on the bench. He could be out here tackling folks. We need linebackers. You're welcome, Mike. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
The Florida Department of Law Enforcement issued a purple alert Tuesday morning for a missing man who is a resident of Leon County. According to the alert, 44-year-old Lucian Stanton has been missing since November 11th and last seen in the area of the 2600 block of Capitol Circle Northeast in Tallahassee. Stanton is a white male with brown hair and brown eyes, listed at 5'6" in height and weighs 160 pounds. Stanton is known to have a tattoo of a circle with a star inside on his right forearm and another tattoo of an envelope with a cloud above it on his upper left. If anyone has information about the whereabouts of Stanton, contact the Tallahassee Police Department by calling 850-891-4200 or call 911. The Tallahassee Police Department is encouraging community members to donate to Toys for Tots this year. Those interested in donating new unwrapped toys may drop off their donations at TPD's main lobby. Donations will be accepted until Thursday, December 8th at noon. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Lots of sunshine this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 64. Winds out of the northeast, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 46. Tonight, mainly clear skies. Tomorrow, highs level off around 73. Temperatures a bit above average Saturday and Sunday, with highs from the mid-70s to the upper 70s. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 64.
You deserve a special gift this year, like a new hot tub from Pinch A Penny. Price is so low, we can't even talk about it on the radio. 50 hot tubs in stock right now. Claim yours today. Pinch A Penny on Greer Street, just off Capitol Circle Northeast.
Car accident? Call 777-7777 for Basic Brooks.
Jeff, look at this beautiful day, man.
Yeah, it's getting a little chilly. I like it. You know, I'm a colder weather guy, but I worry about it for you because you can't wear the Speedo in the cold. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to wear a Speedo in the cold.
Jeff, it's always Speedo weather, man. We can always do this. Besides, my pool, it's heated.
Which means you're insufferable in a Speedo year-round?
Cannonball!
Still gross.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Hey, Greg Tish here along with
Matty Rowe.
And you can listen to us Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Real Talk 93.3. Matt, we give away a couple things each week.
Just a few.
We've got the Florida Farm Bureau Insurance Wheel of Food. We have Give Me a Second, where we play a second of a song and you guess that song. And we also play FLA or Nay. We have a lot of fun Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on
The Greg Tish Show.
Think that's enough?
We can talk about our feelings.
There's a lot.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
They know, as they collaborate with you, that you have a vision, you want to achieve your goals, do amazing things. There are unique challenges that are inherent to government operations. They know that. And that's why ISF has been helping clients solve the future for 4 decades. 80 unique clients served on over 1,500 projects across the country, and they're located right here in little old Tallahassee, which is really cool. It also speaks to their expertise. They're an IT and strategy firm, if you don't know. But if you work in government, then you probably understand what I'm saying about the unique challenges. And I would encourage you to reach out to ISF, find out how they can come together with you, collaborate on your goals through strategy, process, and technology. They'll make it happen. Tom, what kind of problem do we want to solve on today's version of solving for the future?
I think we should piggyback on the receiver room and say, who are the top 3 receivers next year in terms of yardage output? Because one of them's easy. But I mean, really, if you want to tell a story about 2023,
who is the most 3? Who are the
top
3 most?
Top 3.
Winston Wright.
Ooh, you went him first. Now that is fascinating.
Well, hold on. I'm just naming 3 guys.
Okay, all right.
Winston Wright, Malik McLean.
Wow.
Johnny Wilson.
Okay. So Micah Pittman does not make the top 3.
He has games where they don't even throw to him.
I mean, a lot of these receivers do.
Now, Micah is one of my favorite players on the team because he did not let that affect him in any way. In fact, he became hell on wheels as a blocker and was just, I mean, he's the guy that gets under everybody's skin. It's fantastic to watch. And he's very, very physical for being a 5'10" kid.
See, I've got a difficult time with this because...
Do you like my list?
I do like the list.
All right.
Malik's got a real shot next year to be top 3.
Well, it's also...
Johnny's going to be an ink. Johnny's got to be top 3.
Well, if he can catch it.
Even if, I mean, he had problems with it this year.
Oh, he sure as hell did.
He's your leading receiver this year with the problems. So he'll be top 3. But you could argue Kentron.
I don't think.
Would you put it past him in the offseason to have a lot of development?
I hope so. I like Kentron, but I don't think he'll be one of our top 3 receivers. Not above who I just named. In fact, I think. Don't you think Micah will have more catches than him?
Well, but it's yardage. That's why it's not about targets and
yardage.
receptions.
Yeah.
For that reason, Ja'Kai could sneak in there as a big play dude.
Well, if we're not, are we just not going to include the freshman? Who's
I'm not.
otherworldly athletic?
I'm not. Is that unfair of me?
No.
He could be an early enrollee, too, which would be great to see.
Yeah. It's hard for freshmen, but he doesn't have a freshman's body.
Correct.
He looks like a player already. He is dense. He is big. If he can figure it out.
So who could be argued out of the top 3 for you the quickest? Is Johnny affixed in the top 3?
Yeah.
Is Malik?
No.
So Winston, okay. So Malik is the most shaky. He's the most shaky of your picks.
I think so. Listen, I think Winston Wright's going to catch a ton of footballs.
Okay.
I just do. I got to believe there's a guy. We know about the numbers. We saw the way he was utilized, and he's smooth. If he's back 100% healthy and he's recovered all the way and he trusts his body and all that, I think he's going to catch a ton of footballs.
There's just a lot of ways this offense could
go.
It's
cool, though. It's cool to have the discussion where you can't figure it out. Here we are like, well, I don't know.
Because you couldn't even do it from, let's say, a prize pick standpoint. Week in, week out for us. If they put the receiving totals out there, it's like, I don't know. Johnny probably. And then beyond that, you're going to bet on Pokey. You're going to bet on Micah or Ja'Kai.
I'm not going to bet on Fernando Padron. I don't think he's going to be on that list. I don't think he makes it.
Okay, how about this? Does a tight end, yes or no, does a tight end next year finish in the top 5 in receiving yards for this team? Top 5. Because now you're factoring in running backs.
What did Cam McDonald end up with this year? How many receptions? Do you know? Because I felt like early in the season, they threw to him a ton, and he was always open. I got to give, that's again, we get back to giving Mike credit and this offense credit and how they scheme it up. Man, our tight end is open.
Were you looking for targets, catches?
Catches. How many catches did he have?
21.
Okay. 21. That's it?
Which was 5th on the team.
Okay. And you want to know if one of our tight ends will be top 5? Then yes.
Okay. And he was, looks like he was 4th on the team in receiving yards. Just doing quick. They sorted by catches. He had 312 yards. That last one against Florida where he was wide open actually helped quite a bit. That was about a 40-yard play.
I've got one for you. Will Jarrell Powers, freshman tight end from Fort Worth, Texas, Duncanville, will he have more than 10 receptions next year?
No.
Man, Tom hates Jarrell Powers.
Oh.
He's not a believer.
Biscuit Marquiston already had 10.
I love Marquiston. He'll have double that next year.
Brian Courtney is going to draw more catches.
Tough to catch the ball playing linebacker. Just letting you know.
It's a two-way player. They got Lundy playing fullback. They got Courtney playing linebacker.
Oh, man. That's a fun solving for the future, though, because we're talking. Well,
so do you want to know?
Tight end is not as fun. The receiver part of that was fun to solve the future with. It was not fun with tight ends.
So the leading receiver was Johnny. He had 695. 695. After about week 3, it looked like he was going to have 900, 1,000. So
he could have if he'd have caught the ball.
That's correct. Pokey was number 2 on the team.
Yes, and Pokey played big in big games.
421 yards. Oddly enough, Micah Pittman, for all the games that he was not targeted, had the second most catches on the team, 29. Leading the way was Johnny at 35. But it went 35, 29, 25, top 3 on the team. I would think those numbers have to go way up.
Yeah.
Leading catcher has 45 or 50.
Yes. Well, think about now, Jordan has made the transformation. So there's no learning of anything here. They can throw the whole playbook at him. I think he's pretty much got it now. For a while there, we weren't running our full playbook.
But then again, if nobody's stopping Trey Benson, maybe they don't.
What a problem.
This is a great problem.
I don't know. Are we going to throw for 350 today or run for 230? Maybe both.
They ran for 2,600 yards as a team this year.
Yeah.
2,600.
What they average per game?
Over 200. I'm doing quick math. 2,600 divided by 12.
Yeah, that was impressive.
So I looked it up today. In terms of yards per play, I'll double check it, but I looked it through all 12 games. They outgained in terms of yards per play every single one of their opponents this year.
Well, you knew they did against Wake and NC State. It was maddening.
Yeah. The close one was LSU was 0.1.
Well, that's because we couldn't stop your boy from just running around crazy.
Well, we couldn't execute a goal line play. I mean, that eats at the
That's
average.
another thing that came a long way.
It did.
The red zone touchdown rate improved as the year went on.
Yes, before Miami week, I came in, I told you, it's dude, they ran a
we were
goal line,
in the three tight set. We ran it right at him. It was glorious.
It didn't work the first play, but you know what? It set up play action spider 2 wide banana.
Yes, it did. Also, I love when we get in that formation. Doesn't it just make you, hey, did you see the release of college football 2024? It's going to be happening in August, did they say?
Oh, it's next year, or was it in 2024?
No, it's next year, right? It's coming up in 2023, isn't it?
I think it was delayed to the
Damn it, man. What the hell?
I know. But it will be released with a brand new 12-team playoff. Remember the last couple of years you could mess around with conferences?
That's right, yeah.
Now they're going to have a 12-team playoff in this
Looks
game.
like me and Army are taking it to the playoff. I always take Army.
Not Idaho? I thought Idaho was
I used to do Idaho, but I love playing Army because I like playing on that field and it snows all the time.
You want in the online dynasty?
We'll
find we're all balding and fat.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Let's
like, hey, like we were 22, guys. Let's reassemble.
The problem is now nobody can be out here being Alabama and Georgia. You got to be. Come on.
We go back to the old American or something like that.
Yeah.
I'll take Houston again. We'll take them on a ride.
Throwing around the rock.
You can have Tulane. Would you want Tulane? Nobody was Tulane in our division.
EA Sports to release college football game in summer of 2024.
There you go. That's hurtful.
Get it together, Daryl Holt. EA Sports Vice President and GM. Come on, man.
That's not how we solve for the future around
2024, sweet Jesus, we could all be dead. It's 150 degrees year-round these days, guys. Let's go. Get that game out. Oh. I won't say what I was going to say. But at some point, also, we need to freshen up Grand Theft Auto, everybody.
The new one's in the works, isn't it?
It's been since 2013.
I thought they announced that there was actually a new one in the works.
Well, they've been announcing that on the internet. I think that's just wish casting. We're all just out here wish casting. That's all we're doing. Come back, wrap it up. I'm Charlie Jeff Cameron Show. 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
When I get home from work, I'm ready to relax. So I call Swain Pools and Spas to put my pool in the back. I call Swain Pools and Spas. Now I'm soaking up the fun when I want to.
Truckloads of new and used Caldera and Hot Spring Spas are available now at Swain Pools and Spas. Don't wait. Get to Swain Pools and browse the best inventory to find the spa of your dreams. These won't last long, so come see us today. Just look for the huge sign on Tharp Street or call 386-7113 for Swain Pools and Spas.
I know what you're thinking right now. Where can I find a place to get my car fixed and also check out some awesome new hot tubs and spas while I wait? Well, you're in luck. Because when you bring your car or truck in to get serviced at Tallahassee Car Care, it's under the same roof as Swain Pools and Spas for tires, brakes, bodies, tune-ups, oil changes, and all service you need to get back on the road. Choose the certified technicians at Tallahassee Car Care. Drop by our shop on Tharp Street or visit online at TallahasseeCarCare.com.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Hi, this is Jamie McClenny from Trek Financial in Tallahassee. Managing downside risk in your portfolio is one of the biggest challenges that you'll face in retirement. Trillions of dollars in stimulus from the Federal Reserve and D.C. politicians, combined with zero interest rates, have propped up financial markets since the financial crisis ended in 2009. The Fed recently ended quantitative easing and has started to raise interest rates at a time when the global economy was already slowing. Have you considered what another 50% correction in the stock market would do to your retirement plan? If you're concerned about where this all might be headed and would like to find out about the potential benefits of an active risk management strategy for your portfolio, give me a call at 850-900-5200 and schedule a time for a review of your portfolio from an active risk management perspective.
Make Jamie your first call for a second opinion. Investment advisory services are offered through Trek Financial, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus, happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com multimedia network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Well, wagers for tonight from my friends at Tallulah, where you could swing on by and get you one of those Kratom drinks and say, "Thank you, Jeff. This is delicious, and I feel euphoric." Right? You good? And there he is. There's our possum. Not a possum. The hell am I talking about?
It's an otter.
It's an otter, not a possum at all. They don't even look anything like each other. This poor possum in my backyard last night. Woo! I felt bad for this guy. He was stuck between the fence between my dog and the dog on the other side of the fence. There's this little spot.
Oh, no.
Where the two fences don't meet.
Yeah.
And he was stuck and he can't see. And he's just sitting there like, He keeps expecting to get eaten because the two dogs' jaws are right inches from him, but he doesn't realize he's safe. So he just froze. It's like, buddy, you got to keep it moving. You're going to have to keep it moving.
So would you get a broom and skirt him along?
I brought my dog in and he was kind of, I think, felt a little bit of relief and found his way out. But I was really worried for him. He could see that look on his face like, what have I done? What have I done? What yard is this?
My oldest cat's hearing is going. It's mostly in and out, but sometimes really out. And it's funny because you remember the pug. There's the gif of the pug on the couch, and he turns around. He's like,
yeah.
There will be something really loud, like absurd, that happens in my house. Like, you know, something will just get dropped.
Right, yeah.
And he'll just, it's not very loud to him. It's not shocking.
Yeah,
He'll just go, what in the hell?
I vaguely heard something over there.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Yeah.
So if you call him, he doesn't hear you. He just stares off in the distance.
Sometimes it's sad. He looks the other way.
Oh,
like he thinks you're in the other direction.
You're like, buddy, you have no.
So I just go up to him. I'm like, it's okay. Buddy.
You're like, hey, I'm right here.
Right. Yeah. I wave my hand when I'm approaching him, so he'll see it. He'll spot it. Oh, there you are. All right. All right.
Poor thing. How old is he?
13, 12, 13.
There you go. The last remaining obstacle to expanding the college football playoff, guys. It's over with. The 12 teams in the 2024-2025 season has been cleared. The Rose Bowl reached that agreement that paves the way for college football's playoff to expand in the final 2 seasons of the current contract. That's going to happen.
So does that mean that they don't always get to play at 5 o'clock Eastern on New Year's Day? I hope so. Screw those people.
I love the Rose Bowl, but I understand your concerns, dude.
Play it whenever.
Yeah, play it whenever.
Play it when we tell you.
I want us to be in it every year. The first round of the playoffs in 2024 will take place the week ending Saturday, December 21st at either the home field of the higher-seeded team or at another site designated by the higher-seeded school. So you can just pick a site.
Florida State, if we're in that situation, we're playing here.
Yeah.
Don't put us in Orlando.
No,
don't put us in Tampa.
Well, but yeah, not Orlando for sure.
Here, the money for here, for this city.
Correct.
I'm starting that campaign right now.
Well, they would do that, I think. But also, if they didn't do that, I would say, let's go play in the Rose Bowl.
We're going to designate
the Rose Bowl for our first round playoff game, everybody. Yes, I would cheer that move. None of the businesses would, but I would be like, here we go, Florida State. Way to get it. First of all, let's get our own shop in order here. Let's get in and out of the gates in a way that is efficient next year. Good work out of you. Good work, Director Matthew. Be well, everybody. Have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Libations Friday.